Dr Thrax versus Kassad, but we can't build any units. That means we're not building anything from the command center, supply stash, barracks, or arms dealer. Workers and rocket troops that spawn from tunnels and stashes are allowed, and rebel ambushes are allowed too, because we're not actually building those from the production buildings. Bonus challenge, we're not allowed to build any Scud Storms either, or use Prince Kassad's Scud Storm for that matter. Not that we do. Anyways, on with the battle. So first things first, we are using fake buildings. So this is something that I never ever would have done like 5 or 10 years ago. Now, the thing is, with this game, I've been playing it for a long time, but I've always played it in a certain way, and because I've played it a certain way, that's become muscle memory to me. So I know of the existence of fake buildings, but because I didn't really think it was that helpful at the time, I never really used it. But now I see the true value of some of these strategies, I'm becoming much more open-minded, and I'm actually doing the strategies that I thought weren't going to help me. So, with this, the fake buildings, they're going to build faster than a normal one, but with that, you can convert them to a normal building. Meanwhile, the worker that built it can run off somewhere else to build another building. So with that, you're actually saving quite a bit of time, because if you are building a normal building, then you'd have to get the worker to run to wherever else, like to build whatever else you want to build. So yeah, definitely a time saver here. And I'm definitely going to try and make fake buildings part of the new muscle memory, if that makes sense. So right now, with my strategy here, I ended up building a toxin network next to the art platform. Now this one is going to get captured by Prince Kassad in a normal battle, but because we have put defenses nearby, he can't capture it. So with that, I'm able to get a hold of that art platform a little bit later on, once we got the rebel ambushes, which is going to happen at rank 3. Now, meanwhile back at main base, because we did all of the supply stash building, we have generated a whole bunch of workers to gather the resources for us, and I'm favouring toxin networks over stinger sites, just because we do need a lot of rocket troops to help get us by with the defenses, and also holding off the sneak attacks that come later on. So I'm trying to build a bunch of tunnels in all of these different areas of my base, just so I can pop out of the tunnel with the rocket troops, depending on, like, it really depends on where he spawns with that sneak attack. I want to be as ready as possible when it actually happens. So, meanwhile, on the left side, I've got a worker that's building tunnels, and you may have noticed, okay, so why have you got one there and then another one a little bit higher up? There is a reason for it. So, the vehicles that Prince Kassad sends out, they're not actually going to really go for those tunnels at the start. They actually just drive past them and go for the tunnel that I placed that's diagonal to my command center. So with that, the other tunnels that I'm going to build, they're going to be able to do damage to Kassad's vehicles, or even destroy them, just like that. So with that, the tunnel that we got diagonal to the command center can finish it off. And I'm doing a similar thing with the worker on the right. So we got one behind, so it's sort of similar formation to the tunnels we got on the left. Now on that left side, we're also building a third tunnel, and that's also going to mean more damage for those vehicles that decide they're just going to drive past. So the next move I made, I decided to build more stinger sites near where the rocks are, and reason why I did that was because I know that the anthrax bomb is coming later on, and I thought to myself, maybe, just maybe, could we take out the plane before the bomb actually drops on my base? Because with that, it really does slow down my resource time. It kills the resources and kills the workers if I'm not careful. Now, 6-minute mark has just happened. That means he's going to do a sneak attack, and the sneak attack is going to have quad cannons and buggies. So with that, He's got the same sort of timings as the leggy demo challenge that I did a while back. Now with that, the sneak attack will happen at 6 minutes, then again at 10, at 14, at 18. It's always a 4-minute delay between sneak attacks. And the same thing is going to happen with the anthrax bomb coming later on. That's going to trigger at 8 minutes, but it's going to take about 30 seconds for the plane to get to my base. So with that, it's going to be 8 minutes 30, and then it's a 6-minute delay. So 14, 30, 20, 30, etc. Now, because I'm building stinger sites, it does mean that the buggies are going to want to take shots on my stinger sites. See, if I didn't use stinger sites at that left side, those buggies would have just driven past the tunnels. They would have taken damage from those 3 tunnels there, and then the tunnel diagonal would have finished them off. Just like with the technicals.
My hands have splinters.
Your base has grown so large, General.
I sense danger maybe near.
You can defend all your buildings.
Watch your step. Quick, ready.
I'm just getting some rocket troopers to guard as well. Since the anthrax bomb is going to be coming soon, I know that I need to free up the room for my workers that are at the supply stash, and I want to get those guys in the tunnel to protect them. Because there's no guarantee that my stinger sites are going to be enough to take out the anthrax bomb plane. And that was my thought process as I was doing it. So we just hit the 8-minute mark pretty much, and I put my workers inside that tunnel. And like I said, it's going to take about 30 seconds for the plane to arrive at my base, but I want to put the workers inside the tunnel anyway, just as insurance in case this doesn't work. So yeah, it worked very, very well. This is actually the first time I tried out this strategy, so if you're wondering why I even bothered putting the workers in, now you know. Yep, so they're just driving by. Now we got that rank 3, and I chose level 1 Rebel Ambush and level 2 Bounty, so I'm really going to get some extra cash coming in. Now here's the thing, I chose not to capture the oil derricks and the art platforms. I chose to put the Rebel Ambush in the bottom left corner of Kassad's base. So you're probably thinking, okay, why would you do this? So reality is, the money's actually not going to be that tight for me right now. I felt pretty comfortable with where we're at. I thought it would be better to try and pick apart Kassad's base before he picks me apart. Now, with the rebels that we sent in, they're able to get rid of those 2 garrison buildings because they're toxin rebels. Meanwhile, they're just going to chill out in the garrison buildings because I know that there's another sneak attack. Again, 10 minutes, another sneak. Now, my guys destroyed the sneak before they were able to pop, so they're able to bust out their quads and buggies from the tunnel that's nearby next to a cash pile. But yeah, they don't do too much damage. I got my guys nearby, so they're able to pick them apart pretty easily. So with that, I can rest easy and I can get back to what I was going to do. So I force fire on the supply stash, and I get one of my rebels to capture this supply stash. Meanwhile, I got another 2 rebels here, but I want to move them into the white building that's nearby and garrison that. So with that, I'll take out these these explosive things here. That way we don't take any unnecessary damage, and then we capture the arms dealer. So here's the thing. By capturing the supply stash, it means that if we get rid of the arms dealers, he can no longer rebuild arms dealers. And without arms dealers, he can no longer build buggies. So yeah, I did have someone commenting, wondering how I was going to deal with the buggies. This is how. So with that, we're going to have half the amount of buggies interfering with our base here. And we're not even done in this bottom left corner. There's still more buildings to try and capture. So I did lose 1 rebel. thankfully it wasn't the vetted one, because the vetted one's going to be able to help me out a lot more than the unvetted one.
Do not hurt me. I can't build there.
And I went for arms dealer and going straight into the palace. I want to be able to get to a black market and get all of the upgrades that we need.
Cost is too great. We will use toxins
So
to
with
defeat
3 rebels left, I'm trying to be very careful here. So I get
them. No cost
one
is too
to
great.
force fire on the black market, and I'm going to try and capture the black market.
The higher order
So with the black market, it means that I could get some upgrades potentially before I even have my palace up. Now, because we're way past the 10-minute mark, it also does mean that the Scud Storm is active and ticking down as we speak. Now, with Scud Storm, it's going to be a cash value deal, so I got to make sure that I have something that's not very valuable to me, but valuable to him, and then I could like sell off or cancel the scaffolds if I want to do it that way. So there's a lot of ways to get around Kassad's Scud Storm.
Is using their DPS scramble.
attacking.
Well done, General. You have reached a higher rank.
We will use toxins to defeat
So with the
them.
capture of the black market, I did try and get some upgrades, and thankfully for me, I was able to get one upgrade before it actually got destroyed. And I ended up getting the worker shoes upgrade. So the worker shoes upgrade, as well as the AP rockets and AP bullets, those are the only 3 upgrades that are going to be useful for me in a can't build any units challenge. So getting the worker shoes, that was the one that I wanted, because that's the one that's going to take the least amount of time in getting, especially like since it's going to get attacked by a tunnel network anyway. So I thought that was the best option I could take in that moment.
Oh, okay, I will
Now with the
work.
palace up, I got the fortified building as well as the gamma upgrades on the go, and I thought we'll get an extra stinger side as well. I figure may as well get as many defenses live as possible, so then we can deal with this anthrax bomb.
Stay close to safety. Stay close
So
to
just like that, the workers can go back to collecting resources. So I am delaying the workers a little bit by putting them in the tunnels, but again, I didn't know if it was going to work out for me or not. But I'd rather take, you know, a 10-second delay over, you know, the delay that you would get if you were hit by an anthrax bomb.
I'm just a peasant. I can't build there. This is hard work.
So I noticed the Scud Storm was coming, and the first time that he fires the Scud Storm, there is a bit of a delay when it's ready. I decided to put the workers back inside the tunnel just for insurance, and I ended up putting up a black market scaffold. I thought to myself, maybe, just maybe, that he would actually attack that spot there. I could afford to lose my arms still at that stage of the game because I've already got the palace.
Yes, you change your mind often. What do you want with the
Anthrax gamma
You
might make it
change
a
your
little
mind
stronger.
often.
And yeah, he actually went for my stinger sights and palace, which honestly, I'm okay with this. I don't mind him hitting that spot because I can easily rebuild some stinger sights, and I can just repair the palace. So I'm just happy with that, and it's easy to replicate as well. So if you just build however many stinger sights that we had before, then we can kind of trigger him into firing his Scud Storm in the same place over and over again. Now, even though we did get rid of the arms dealer at the bottom left corner, he still has another one, so there's still going to be some trouble with the rocket buggies, just not as much.
Quick, run for shelter. I'm hungry. I am finished with the hard work.
And yeah, I noticed my rocket trooper count was getting kind of low, so more tunnels the better. And I use my next rebel ambush at the main base, so then I can capture the art platforms as well as the oil derrick. So that's going to help out with the finances even more, and also the defense. See, the art platform that we got at main base, kind of helpful, but not really, because we've pushed our defensive line further than we normally would. But the one that we got that Kassad would usually capture, that one's definitely going to be a big help.
Our enemy is using their GPS scrambler.
Now, back at Kassad's bottom left corner, by capturing the by capturing the command center, it also means that there's going to be no more sneak attacks too. See, the one in the bottom left controls the sneak attack, and then the one in the top left would control the anthrax bomb. So I still got to worry about the anthrax bomb, but again, it's a 6-minute delay each time. So there's the cap on that. And yeah, I am going to lose some defense here and there. I just got to be able to keep that art platform intact and then use whatever free time I got to rebuild the stinger and the tunnel that I had before. So because we're getting all of this money from the cash bounty and the oil derrick and all of that, I'm choosing to slow down my resource gathering with the other workers because I do need to get those defenses back up. I can maintain the finances off the bounty and the oil derrick for a little bit. Now with the art platform, I thought to myself, well, I could always target the tunnel network, and just in case he's got anything inside the tunnel, we can get rid of those too. Just trying to find ways to get the EXP up, but yeah, getting interrupted by buggies as well. So sort of like luring him with the Toxin Rebels a little bit. So yeah, I noticed that the Scud Storm is almost ready to go. See, after the first launch, he doesn't really delay the second launch. It's usually an insta-fire with the second launch. And Anthrax Bomb was not successful this time round. Now, I didn't make really any preparations when it comes to dealing with this Scud Storm. If I did, I would have probably just done a bunch of Stingercide scaffolds. Funny enough though, he basically aimed it in the same spot, which led me to, so that's what led me to believe that if we just keep building stinger sites in that section, then it'll keep aiming at that section with the Scud Storm. So that's really a good target for me, because then I can just do whatever else I need to do to prepare to attack his top left side. Yep, with the workers, I'm just trying to build as many stingers as possible. That way I can keep the scuds to that section there. Now, I used my rebel ambush and cleared out that building there. Meanwhile, I know where the arms dealer is, and I decided to try and run them as far back as I could. And we got 2 survivors, and one's a little bit low health. I got one to force fire on the arms dealer, meanwhile the other one is going to try and capture the arms dealer. So yeah, I was thinking, ooh, if I can get this arms dealer, then no more buggies, no more quads, it'll all be okay. And yeah, the stinger, the guys inside the stinger site recovered, and yeah, that foiled that plan. But there was, like, that was good information for me, because I was like, okay, if I play my cards right, I might be able to get more rebels to take care of that stinger site, and then have another guy capture the arms dealer on the next go round. So I did get a few rebels taken out, but I wasn't sure if that tunnel network there was still intact or not. I kind of want it to get taken out just so I don't get any interruptions from him if he does pop with a buggy or a quad cannon. Even so, I'm pretty much decked out on defense. Meanwhile, getting interrupted yet again by the buggies. So that's the thing. That's all it really is. It's just a minor inconvenience with the buggies, because we've got that one worker that's standing by repairing it as we go. and then I can just get the rocket troopers to pop out and then deal with the buggies before they destroy my art platform. Ah, there we go. So we finally stopped on the force firing of the platform. Good thing, like, it was a good thing I stopped it then and, you know, didn't, like, realize it too late and got blown up by buggies. That would have been terrible. Scud Storm's coming. I had to get my guys out, but I think I would have been a bit too late on that one. Yep, there he goes. I'd rather keep the worker intact than the rocket troop. I could just build more tunnels to get more rocket troops anyway.
What do you want? Are there not better tools?
I'm just trying to widen my defensive line. That way, later on, I can push the defensive line and I can invade that top left corner. So the top left is always so much harder to get to with compared to the bottom left. So here's my second attempt. And because the technical was there, that sort of wiped out most of my guys. But I at least know to some extent where the Stinger is as well as the arms dealer. Problem with that though is the Stinger is going to recover and they're going to... the Stinger is going to recover and is going to take out that guy anyway. So I attempt to capture it again and yeah, too late. Good news is, this guy is still alive. The Stinger can't reach that one guy. So, with that, I came up with a different plan. I thought to myself, maybe this one guy could turn the arms dealer into a GLA hole. It'll take 47 years to do, but it's definitely possible. So that was my plan for the time being.
That was a lot of work. I'm just a peasant. Cannot we live in peace? Do not hurt me.
And yeah, since I noticed my worker count was getting a little bit on the low side, so I thought, okay, let's do some supply stashes. This is when I kind of stopped with the whole fake buildings, just because I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to keep track of all of those moving parts. I'm not that good yet with the conversion, so we'll do normal, and then we can get the workers and put them in the tunnel. That way they can build stuff for me. We just hit the rank 5, so I went for Anthrax Bomb, Sneak Attack, and Rebel Ambush. And I don't need to get the level 3 bounty because we're getting enough out of level 2 bounty as well as the oil derrick. We're sitting on 23 grand now as it is, so we're pretty much decked out on cash. We could just use our workers to keep busting out like tunnel networks and stingers, whatever we want. So I went for sting sides next, thinking I could try and push my defensive line more and more in that direction. But after that I thought, well, I don't exactly have to go in that direction. I could go elsewhere. So what I ended up thinking of was I ended up using my Anthrax Bomb in kind of a weird spot. Now I used it there because one, it's going to take out the guys inside Kassad's Stinger site, but two, it's also a map revealer. So because it's a map revealer, it means that I can use my sneak attack and I can use it in a way where his Stinger site and his garrison building isn't going to get to my sneak. And not only that, any vehicles that he's going to send are going to get taken out by the Anthrax. So we've pretty much got all our bases covered when it comes to that. Now, he did hit me with a Scud Storm here. I did lose a bunch of my rocket troops. I don't know if you saw the mouse movements. I wasn't happy about that. When I like move my mouse like that, it means I'm angry. So I used my Rebel Ambush one more time, just hoping that I can get the cap off on this arms dealer here. So we take out the guys inside the Stinger, and we're just trying to get the right number of people to go to the side of the arms dealer, but also getting enough people to spray the Stinger side. That way it stays down. That way we can cap it, cap that arms dealer. So we got the arms dealer. Now that means no more buggies, no more quads, no more technicals, and we can move on to the next stage of the game. Now these rebels are toast. Nothing I can really do about these guys. Now that that's out of the way, I can move on to the sneak attack. Now, as you can see, I've got a demo trap right in the door of my sneak. And so I evac one of my guys to take the hit for me, and I use my worker to disarm the other demo traps surrounding the sneak attack. So with that, I've got free reign over my sneak attack. I can push to the left now if I want to, but I ended up not doing that right away. I decided to go on a bit of a side adventure with those guys coming up soon. So I ended up trying to go to the right, not the left, and then using my worker to do demo trap scaffolds to detonate his demo traps, and just taking out that Stinger site there. See, I was thinking about capturing that vehicle drop, ended up losing a bunch of my rocket troops because there was one more demo trap. And yeah, with Dr Thrax, if you capture the vehicle drop, you are going to get toxin tractors every 2 minutes. That being said, I thought to myself, well, what's that really going to do for me? How's that really going to help? So with that, the adventure's over, and I decided to go to the left. So I ended up building more demo trap scaffolds to see if I could trigger anything else. Then I went for a toxin network to see if there was any more traps. Took out the garrison buildings, took out one of his Stinger sites, and about to take out another one. So I'm going to garrison this building with the rocket troops and then try and take out that Stinger site there.
I'm just a peasant. I will try to hurry.
The tunnels will protect us.
And yeah, the force firing wasn't working, so I just used the other guys to take out this Stinger for me. And it was doing a bit of damage to my own building. Not that big a deal. I could just evac them and then send them to one of the other buildings. That was my thought process going into it. And I kind of screwed up. I was like, oh, I forgot to hit stop on the Toxin Rebels. And just like that, we ended up losing like 5 guys. So yeah, not happy about that, but mistakes happen. So we still got some rocket troopers left, and we still got some toxin rebels, which I'm going to use them to try and be the meat shield for the Stinger sites. That way the rocket troopers can fire on the Stinger site and take out each of them one by one. Still got 4 toxin rebels standing tall. Oh, actually, maybe 3. One of them isn't doing so well.
Let's fight. Our land must be enemy may be near. Attack before they attack us. Get them! Get them now!
And yeah, I used the anthrax bomb at that section. One, it was a bit of a distraction for that Stinger that we're about to attack now, but it also means that the other Stingers won't interfere, other vehicles and infantry from his side won't interfere. That's what I'm going for, because I want to build up some tunnel networks and Stinger sites to try and push on my defensive line. Now, I noticed the Scud Storm was about to come again, so I used my worker to set up some Stinger site scaffolds, and thankfully he took the bait and went for that. See, that's the thing, when you have enough cash, you can do that sort of thing. You don't even need to cancel the scaffolds if you got enough cash to burn. Now here we go in for the kill. So we use a sneak attack, that's going to draw the fire of the Stinger sites. Then I use my rebel ambush, that's going to take out the guys in the Stingers. And then I split off a bunch of them to take out a 3rd Stinger site. And just like that, the rocket troopers can be the cleanup crew. And I can just inch my way closer and closer and closer towards
Watch your step.
his other defenses, his command center, and the Scudstorm and Palace. The Scudstorm, I mean, it's not too bad. It's the Palace that's the real problem because it's got snipers inside. See, with snipers, it's not really good because my attack force is going to be full of infantry. So it's really just going to be a case where I need to have more infantry than he can snipe, but also do enough damage so then we can take out the Palace.
Attack before they attack us. I'm alone. Get them! Get them now! We will not be afraid. Our day has come. I sense danger very near.
The warrior is falling.
There they are! I will die for the cause. Watch your step. Attack before they attack us.
As I'm attacking, the game actually froze on me, and I was like, oh no, please don't crash, please don't crash. Thankfully, we didn't crash. I wouldn't have been very happy if we crashed because it means having to redo the whole battle. And I don't know if his buggies would have treated me in the same way because I think his buggies were actually being kind of nice to me in this battle. They really didn't do a whole lot of damage to me overall. So with that out of the way, I continue the attack, take out a stinger site and a garrison building. I can't finish off one of his stinger sites because there's stuff in the way, and I try and clear it the way, but it's still not enough. Now, what I should have done here is I should have either force fired on the civilian building or the command center. Either one of those things wouldn't have actually taken very long to do. Instead, I decided to evac the guys, which I really shouldn't have done, and we take out that GLA hole that was a stinger site. And then we move our guys out of harm's way to then force fire on the command center again. I used my rebels to stop firing. I was trying to protect my rocket troopers from the toxins, but the worker ran past and took out one of my rocket troopers anyway with the toxin rebels. So sort of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation that we got going on here. And I use my rebel to take out this other garrison building so then I can move on to the next stage of the game.
What do you want?
So right now, Kassad's got a Scudstorm coming in less than 20 seconds. I don't have enough time to capture the Scudstorm with my rebels, so what I did was I ended up building some stinger site scaffolds to bait out the Scudstorm. I thought if I can emulate what I had in the battle earlier on, then that should be enough to bait out that Scudstorm. Now, even if I didn't bait out the Scudstorm, I'd be able to hold on pretty well because, you know, we're pretty well established. Now, I did forget about the tunnel network, and I did lose my Vet 3 Rebel here, but that's good information because I can just garrison the building with the rocket troops to pick off the tunnel. Yep, there's the stinger sites nearby, I'm within reach of that, so 2 for 1 deal. So yeah, I don't have anyone left inside my tunnels. I got my worker to build a stinger site to take out the barracks scaffold, and then I'm just going to take out this Scudstorm here because I don't want to use it. Easy done. And with that, I'm just going to wait on the toxins to clear. So while I wait on the toxins to clear, I use my toxin rebel at the bottom left corner, and goal for him is I just want to take out this one rocket trooper that he's got positioned in front of a tunnel network. So I'm just trying to be careful about getting too close here. So I was like, little fire and run away, and that was enough to take him out. Because the thing is, I need to set up a sneak attack near the tunnel network to do my evac, and I don't want to have the tunnel network or the rocket trooper interfering. So I ended up bringing a worker nearby, but he still had a stinger left, so now I'm using my anthrax bomb and sneak attack combo to try and take out his last couple of stinger sites. So with all of that out of the way, he's still got a palace left, but that palace has a sniper. So with our workers, I'm just doing a tunnel network spam. That way I can generate enough rocket troopers so then the snipers won't even matter. I can just overwhelm him with raw power. So for me, my tunnel networks are the V key and my cell is the J key. So I'm just going V, 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 J, 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 J over and over again. So I felt I had enough here, and I was kind of slow with the evac. Like I had it hotkeyed, I just was very slow, like pressing the key and then pressing the V to evac. See, that time I got it right, but it did get a lot of my guys sniped. But doesn't matter, we still had enough to take out the palace. I did use the rebel ambush to be kind of a meat shield to protect the rocket troopers as well. So he's got one tunnel network and he's got one palace left. That palace, I don't think it's got a sniper, so I don't have to worry too much about that one. Now I captured the oil refinery to draw the fire of the tunnel network, and then see, again, this is how you do the evac right when you hotkey it. Anyways, so that is how I beat Prince Kassad with Dr Thrax without building any units. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I do have a playlist if you want to check out any of my other Command & Conquer content. I'll see you next time. Bye.
We are victorious.
My men will not accept this defeat from their leader, General. You have signed my death warrant with your superior tactics.